The Australian TikTok Award recently happened.
This is for all the media.
Well, that's not our fault. That's the information.
Yeah, but this has nothing to
given.
do with you. We don't need your photo. We're not like they're not gonna. What are they gonna do with your photo?
Wow.
No, it's not. No, but it's not gonna go anywhere.
That's crazy.
It's not gonna go anywhere. No, but I'm saying they've worked for the press.
Guys, sorry.
And Black women have come out to share the horrendous experience that they faced from their white counterparts, those that organized the TikTok's award. Hey y'all, welcome to the channel Sister Spill. We are spilling about everything that transpired last week at the TikTok Awards. Now, if you haven't seen it, well, yeah, I'm going to be breaking it all down for you. So this lady is out here telling us what happened to her at the TikTok Awards when she went to the red carpet to try and get her pictures taken, and get an interview done. And then there was this guy who was in charge of organizing the red carpet. And the next thing he said was this:
I will no longer be attending the TikTok Awards because I'm tired of being treated like this. This is a TikTok staff member saying, we don't need your photo. What are they going to do with your photo? It's not going to go anywhere. Now, I'm assuming when he says we, because he works for TikTok Australia, he's saying TikTok Australia doesn't need our photos. So why are we here? Why are you inviting creators if this is a celebrity event? If that's what you're wanting, then say that. If you're inviting creators to be seat fillers, to fill up your audience so that when the TV network plays your event, that they see that there's so many people there, then let the creators know that they're being invited as audience members and not as content creators. Don't go treating people like shit and then prioritizing whoever you choose over other creators. Every year that I've been to the awards, they always have two separate carpets. They have a media wall, which you can kind of just get in fast, get your photo. And then they have another one where you can get interviews. They'll usually have people interviewing content creators. That's how last year the whole is being an influencer hard video went viral. That's the interviews they do. I've spoken to other creators about how they get to that interview stage because me personally, I've always just stayed in the background and I've never felt that I could go to the media wars because to be honest, in Australia, like Black content creators, they don't know us like that. This year, I thought I've been in the background. The last 3 years I've attended, I might as well just try to do an interview. I might as well just try to be more involved with the press side of things, Because again, one of the biggest things that we struggle with as Black creators is being seen in Australian media. When you see these articles about TikTok content creators, you're rarely seeing the Black content creators because we're not going to do these interviews at the events. We're not going to speak to press. We're not being seen on these articles as Australian TikTok content creators. In fact, the biggest question I get...
I was going to say the most common thing you guys say to me when you meet me in real life is this:
I didn't know that you're from Australia. I thought you were from the UK or I thought you lived in the US. And why do they think that? Because they don't see us in Australian media. How this whole thing happened is we heard that there's a media wall upstairs. We went upstairs. Again, there's no security that's like stopping you. It's not barred off or anything. We line up, get to the front, and one of the, staff members was like, oh, are you a nominee or a presenter? And I was like, no, we're just content creators. And then she goes, oh, sorry, they're only wanting to interview nominees and presenters. I was just kind of like, oh, because I saw someone that I'm mutuals with, they're doing an interview. They weren't a nominee. They weren't a presenter. They were, like me, a content creator that was invited to attend. It was just a bit like, oh. But anyways, the lady goes, but if you guys want to take photos, you can just go over there. She points at the wall where there's the photographers, and she's like, I can guide you guys there, but if you just want your photo taken, you can go there. So we went to line up in that section because we're like, oh, okay, if the press don't want to do interviews with creators this year, let's go take a photo. The photographer that was there, he was kind of like, you're not supposed to enter from this way, like the way where we were. And we just told him, oh, we were told to come here. And I guess he was a bit confused, but he just continued taking photos anyways. And then everyone else from the media, like that were doing interviews, they were coming through. So there's a photographer was taking their photos. So we're just standing there and waiting. This man approached with so much aggression The thing is, it wasn't only us in the line. There was other people behind us, and he came directly to us. Like, he was speaking directly to us when he said that.
I'll take you to BTS. I'll take you. I don't know why they told us to come this way.
Nah, don't come through this way.
I know.
There's a system. There's a really good system.
Sorry guys, you're gonna have to go down the
No, so okay, we were over there, and then the lady said that you guys have to come this way because that's for the
media. Yeah.
So then she said I'll bring you guys here. So then we came here.
Okay, stay here.
So that's what we
If you don't need to be on the meeting wall, you don't have to be on the meeting wall.
Pardon?
If you don't need to be on the meeting wall, that's why they told you to come over
Oh
here.
no. So basically, we're over there the whole line, and then she told us obviously that's for the presenters and media.
Yeah. So's this.
Yeah.
Downstairs.
There's a meeting wall. If you just want to get your photo taken for yourself, go downstairs.
In the
We've been standing in line for an hour.
Yeah, but this is for all the media.
Well, that's not our fault. That's the information.
Yeah, but this has nothing to do with you. We don't need your photo. We're not like they're not gonna. What are they gonna do with your photo?
Wow.
No, it's not. No, but it's not gonna go anywhere.
That's crazy.
It's not gonna go anywhere.
rude as fuck.
No, but I'm saying they're working
Yeah,
for the
but
press.
that's
So sorry.
yeah, but it's not our fault that we're given the wrong information.
That is rude as fuck. What did he say? Oh, what do we need your photos for? It's not going anywhere.
What?
So we're kind of like, whoa. And we know what he meant by that. What are they going to do with your photos? Because who are you guys? Because why else would you say, we don't want your photos? What are we going to do with your photo? What are you going to do with the photos of the people that you're taking photos of? He said what he said. He said it with his chest. And then as we were talking, my friend Maxi takes out her phone to take like a video of his face. Because at this point, I even forgot that I was recording. I forgot because I was recording so that I can hand the phone to my friend Maxi so that she can take videos of me getting my photos taken. But then he approached and it just went like, even after him saying this, we were actually trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. Like, us getting the wrong information was not your fault, but what you just said right there, that's your fault. When he noticed that my friend Maxi was recording him, that's when he turned around, he came back up to us and he goes, "Cuz I wasn't trying to be nasty. It's just these photographers, they work for the Daily Telegraph." And then he basically put the blame on the photographers, saying like, it's them. Like, they're nasty. They don't want photos of you guys.
Do you know what's gonna happen? These photographers all work for the. I don't. I work for TikTok.
Yeah.
But they all work for the Daily Telegraph, and they're gonna literally just rip everyone's heads off. They'll just go, get out of our way. They're nasty press photographers. They're not nice people.
And guess what, guys? That experience did not only happen to me. It did not only happen to Maxi, Zoe. You know, the people I was with. It did not only happen to them. It also happened to multiple Black creators. And the fact that they were saying that this wall is for nominees and press only, and this is how they treated their only Black nominee. So I actually asked Florence if she's okay with me to share her experience, because she was pretty upset about it yesterday. She was invited by TikTok, flown in by TikTok, because she was nominated as a beauty creator. Guess how they treated her? She told us that the photographer refused to take her photo. Another creator, Aisha, had to step in because, again, guys, I don't know if you ever met Florence. I met her for the first time yesterday. She is honestly the sweetest, most gentle, shy person. It just annoys me that, like, we have to experience this. She shouldn't be there as a nominee getting yelled at by photographers that you hired TikTok. Daily Telegraph did not just wake up and start taking photos at the event. They spoke to you. No one at TikTok Australia was intervening. So how are you going to say that this is only for the nominees and press, and you're treating your one Black nominee like this? Guys, Florence was so upset. She said that this is her first and last TikTok award. She's not returning. Every Black creator that I spoke to say that they're not returning as well. And I hope they make their videos, because this needs to be called out. Eunice, another friend of mine and another Black content creator, experienced the same thing. Black content creators are scared to speak up sometimes because the racist Australian public will always go in their comment section, oh, you're playing the victim again, you're playing the victim. We wouldn't be victims if they weren't perpetrators. If you treated people with decency and respect, they wouldn't have to be a victim of your mistreatment. This year was my last award show because, no, I'm not going to do another year of disrespect.
Now, how would you say that kind of thing to anyone? I mean, the polite thing you could have done was still get their pictures taken, even if you feel there was no need for the pictures. Like they were even a nominees. She was a nominee for the TikTok award, so of course she deserves to get a picture taken. But apparently, he felt like it wasn't needed, and he did not take her pictures. And well, she came out here to spill, and then all the Black women are out here spilling, and then there are some other people that are not blacks that are sharing their honest thoughts concerning all of this. You guys, let's go listen to it all, and I'll be back.
They want Black creators to feel so grateful to be in a room that they'll never critique that room. Like, never feel too grateful or appreciative to be in a room that it comes at the cost of your dignity. Like, I'm so sorry, they will try to make you feel so grateful and appreciative and like have some sort of debt for having a seat at the table. Whole time the seat is an electric chair. It's 3 legs on that chair, non-reclining. The way that the Black creators were treated at the TikTok Australia Awards, while it's not surprising, it was really gross to see, but I'm so glad that Nia caught that on camera because I feel like it's harder to deny. Even though people will still deny it and be like, oh, well, it's not about race, maybe it's about blah, 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 blah. They will make up 100 alternate hypotheses rather than trying to like even listen to the one that's usually the most probable. And to the people that are saying, oh, don't make it about race, stop being a victim, blah, blah, blah. Sure, let's go by your perspective, albeit very reductive and very ignorant. Let's follow that for a second. Regardless, that staff member was still so hostile and aggressive and very unprofessional. And that's me being nice, okay? It wasn't until he saw the camera that he started to backtrack and deflect. And it really highlights how like Black creators are always dismissed until it's time for accountability. And that's why when people get under the comments and they're like, oh, you guys are always complaining or like blah, blah, blah. No, it's just because you don't give Black creators any visibility until it's time to hold someone accountable. Like, maybe pay attention the rest of the time. And also, has it ever occurred to these people that say, oh, stop making it about race, stop always talking about race, blah, 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 that knock, knock, like, there wouldn't be a need to talk about this if these perpetrators weren't always perpetrating. But anyways, BIPOC creators should not be told to just feel lucky and grateful to even be in the room when their work helps to shape and build the culture that room profits off. Like, it's so annoying to see these creators be treated like decoration. Like, you sit there and shush. No, treat them with the same, like, professionalism, dignity, respect that you give all the other creators.
I hate the fact that I have to do this on my platform.
I work for TikTok, but they all work for the Daily Telegraph, and they're going to literally just rip everyone's heads off. They'll just go, get out of our way. They're nasty press photographers. They're not nice people.
I need to use my platform and my voice to talk about this because it's not okay. I got invited to the TikTok Awards. I live in Melbourne. The TikTok Awards is in Sydney. I literally had to leave my 2 kids. I flew all the way to Sydney with my husband. I got my hair, makeup, dress, everything, the whole thing, paid for hotel, paid for flights. I was genuinely excited for this event because as creators, most of us actually spend a lot of time alone at home. So it was nice to see other creators, just like last year. Last year was a lot more intimate. This year was just very overcrowded. I'm not going to go into too much details about every single thing because I already made a video about it, and if you need the full video, go to Neil's video. I'm just making this video just to address some certain comments and some points.
But this is for all the media.
So that's not our fault, that's the information.
Yeah, but this has nothing to do with you. We don't need your photo. We're not, like, they're not going to, what are they going to do with your photo?
Wow.
No, it's not going to go anywhere.
That's crazy.
It's not going to go anywhere.
Rude as fuck. It's not about you. We don't need your photo because where is your photo going to go? Like, who the hell do you think you are? Now, this is not a new experience. This is something that happens to Black creators and creators of color in general in Australia. We are always treated less than. Now, if that guy basically just said, I'm so sorry for the miscommunication. If you want to take some photos, you can head downstairs. I'm really sorry. Instead, he looked us up and down and he's like, yeah, who the hell do you think you are? We don't need your photos. Like,
It's not our fault that we're given the wrong information.
I'm not meaning a nasty way. Everyone is a creator. I understand that. Even me. But I'm saying this is for the nominees. They're trying to get all the photos for the nominees.
he said this is just for the nominees. I saw people getting their photos taken. They were not nominees, but they were not Black. So if you were not a nominee and you took your photos upstairs, can you speak out? Because I saw you guys. Can we talk about this? Because people will try to gaslight us and say, it is not racism, everything's not about skin color, but it is. We saw a news article saying TikTok Australia has apologized and is investigating. No one has reached out to me. It's happened to me and I am so glad that we got it on video, because I know no one's gonna believe us if we didn't have it on video. TikTok Australia, you need to address this. Treat everyone with respect, regardless of their skin color. If everyone starts coming and talking about their experiences, we're never gonna stop talking. Does anyone remember the Fenty event that happened? I don't even know when. Fenty by Rihanna. Fenty by Rihanna. And the black creators were not invited in the same Australia. So let's not act like this is something that just happened at the TikTok Awards. It's been happening. When they look at us, they don't think we have the influence. Oh God. Yeah, nah, you're wrong. It's not about the damn photos. Personally, I don't give a shit about the photos. It's about how you speak to someone. You can't speak to me that way. It doesn't matter if I'm a big creator or a small. Actually, I don't like the word big and small creator because that's just, It doesn't matter if I'm an upcoming creator or an established creator. I am not an upcoming creator, okay? I've been doing this stuff for a long time, but that doesn't matter. No one deserves to be spoken to that way. And for the very few people that said to me and my friend Niel, sorry, we don't know who you are. We don't have to know who I am to treat me with respect. Now, if this only happened to me and Niel, I'm gonna be like, I don't know, maybe it wasn't racism. Maybe he was just being an a-hole. But this happened to a black nominee. We don't have a lot of people of color represented in Australian media. So this black creator who was nominated for Beauty Creator of the Year, she went to the media wall to get her photos taken, and the photographer basically shooed her off the stage.
We went on the carpet to get our photos taken because as we shoot, we got nominated. What the hell? And there was this photographer that was wearing a blue cap. He didn't take a photo and then he was telling me to get off.
They refused to take her photos. So now tell me, what's the excuse? What was the reason? This whole TikTok situation has brought a lot of new Australian eyes to my page, but thank you so much for the support. I really appreciate it. Don't follow me if you're only interested in this topic, because I'm not going to be talking about this again, okay? I don't like drama, but if you're into fitness, if you're a mom, if you're trying to lose weight, if you need some daily motivation to help you in your fitness journey, if you like lifestyle content, then that's if you want drama, I don't do that over here, okay? We run a tight ship over here. And for those that don't know who I am, my name is Maxi. Thank you guys for all the support. I am signing out and I'm not talking about this again, okay? Love you and I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.
What happened at this year's Australian TikTok Awards is not a once-off, it is an ongoing trend. And frankly, if you're not picking up on the trend, you are not paying attention. If you are confused and need context, please go and watch Niel's video. I've tagged her below and she came with the receipts. Otherwise, you can watch Maxi's, Eunice's, Florence, all black women and creators like myself who individually experienced this at the event. And I don't know about you, but I feel like anyone would be confused if you invited them to an event that's meant to celebrate them, only to tell them to get out because nobody wants to see them there.
This has nothing to do with you. We don't need your photo. We're not what are they gonna do with your photo?
But they weren't saying that to everyone. And that's okay, because that man, if we can even call him that, who kicked me, Niel, and Maxi off the red carpet, did us a favor. Because now we have evidence, baby. The problem, and the reason why the Australian industry has been able to hide this for so damn long, is because the disrespect, disregard, and discrimination, not unlike racism in Australia in general, is veiled. It's subtle. So how can you call out something everybody else is pretending not to see? But just because it's mostly microaggressions doesn't mean it doesn't have an impact. Which is why you might notice that a lot of your favorite black creators from Australia go through waves where they don't post for a little bit, because who wouldn't lose motivation when you are fighting an uphill battle, fighting to be valued by people who don't even want to see you? Speaking from my own first-hand experiences of working as a full-time content creator when I moved to Sydney, this is about more than just TikTok. Even though clearly they are one of the culprits, and a quick look at the official TikTok Australia page will tell you everything you need to know. I mean, we all know how this industry works, right? The more you post, the more engagement, the more followers, and the more opportunities you get, right? No. In Australia, if you're a black creator, the rules are different. You see, the threshold you need to reach in order to even get a seat at the table is 2, maybe 3 times higher. And even if you reach that threshold, there's still a good chance you'll get overlooked. More often than not, we have to sit back and watch different colored creators who don't even match our level of effort, creativity, and let's be real, engagement, not only get paid, but flown out, nominated, and treated like VIPs when we're meant to just show up for free and be grateful. And even when we do get a seat at the table, there's a good chance it's more for the sake of performing inclusion rather than them actually wanting to include and cater for us. This is based on my experiences. Mine. but also a lot of the stories I've heard from fellow friends and creators. Funny thing is, people are going to start to think that we coordinated this, but the reality is that this is the result of this happening time after time after time till we reach our limit. For me, it has been exhausting, isolating, anxiety-inducing, and in the last 2 years, it has tainted what was a childhood dream and should be a real achievement. I'm a sensitive soul, so I've cried about this at length already, and they don't even deserve a single drop of my tears, but I can't make this video without at least saying thank you to you. You and this community that we've built is literally the only reason that I'm still here doing this. That and the little girl who deserves to see someone who looks like her on her screen. And that's why for me, the TikTok Awards was a reminder that I don't really have much to lose. And I am so far from done. For now, all I need you to know is that...
Hey guys, my name is Panak here. I'm a Sudanese Australian, and I'm just doing this video in solidarity with the South Sudanese and all the other women of color in Australia that felt like they were treated somehow, some way at the TikTok award night the other night, on the 26th of November 2025 to be exact. Now, as an Australian Sudanese that have been here for almost 30 years, I do understand that racism is something in Australia, but we often as Aussies like to deny it. And I do understand as well that sometimes when you get discriminated so much, it becomes okay, and often you just go about living your daily life without sharing how you feel, how you truly feel about the way you get discriminated against in the society we live in, which is Australia. Now, what really made me come here today is the response that we got from a majority of TikTokers that are not people of color, that are saying that it is just the way things are done. It's nothing to do with race. It's more to do with the media and how the media operates in Australia. Now, if I was to tell you that's literally a lie, you might not believe me, but I'll take you back to 20 years ago. I used to be a fashion model. I was with Chic Models in Sydney, and then I went with Priscilla's Models. During my time as a model, I experienced a lot of racism, straight out being told that I was too black, my nose was too flat, my lips were too big, and whatnot. I couldn't name the designers that did that to me here, but I'm not going to. But I got so used to being discriminated against that I thought it was okay, and it was just the way things were going to be for me. And to be frankly honest with you, that's how I feel today. I still feel like in Australia, you just have to accept it and go about your daily life. And that's what I was going to do about this issue. But then I saw these little young girls that were all the young women at the TikTok award that were talking about the incident that took place. It really made me upset, and I wanted to come out because I'm now a mother. And I do have my kids and in their teenage years, and I have a daughter, and I would hate for my daughter to experience what I experienced well over 20 years ago. And that's why I'm here. Australia, you're racist. Australia, you're in denial of your racism. Australia, you're not going to listen to me about this message. You are going to select what you're going to hear, and you're going to tell me that I'm crying victim. You're going to tell anyone of color that is crying victimhood and whatnot. We don't cry victimhood. We as black women are very resilient. We are very strong. We go about our daily life. We accept the fate that is, we accept the hand that is being dealt with. Yeah, we know it's not easy being black. But to straight out come and say, oh no, it's just the way the media works. We also understand as black women, and Australians should also be aware that, white Australians should also be aware that the media discriminate against black people. We've seen it time and time again. We've seen how they utilize the youth, the African youth, as a way to mobilize and turn people against the African Australian. We've seen that. We've seen Channel 7 spread news about us. We've seen this being done, and there's no any other platform where you could actually utilize to turn people against each other than the media. So if you tell us what happened at the TikTok Australia is just the media doing what they do, well, that's a great example of media, which is an Australian media being a racist house. I really think TikTok Australia can do better. I think Australia as a society can do better, because I'm not going to be turning into a Tracy and be looking fabulous like I do here anytime soon. And I know some of you guys are going to go, oh my God, what are you doing? If a white person painted their face black, it would be this and that. No, it's not the same. You don't understand our pain. So please, if you're a TikTok creator, don't come on here and dismiss everything, and the feelings that people are feeling. Don't dismiss us. We've been dismissed for decades. We're not going to be silent. We're not going to be told to be quiet, because we're not going anywhere. Like I said, my kids are going to be here, their kids are going to be here. We're fucking going to be here for a very long time. So the best thing we could do is try and get along with each other. Take accountability. Reconcile. Accept that you've done something wrong and it won't happen again. Nobody's retarded. We're not stupid. We understand the whole thing. Oh no, it wasn't everybody that was meant to be at the red carpet. Bob's your uncle. We get that shit. But you treated one of our very own daughters, sister, like dirt, and she was a nominee. You literally shoo her off and said she didn't deserve to be taken photos of or to be seen. Yet, you're the same people that invited her to come out. And many other women were invited to come out. And then you looked down on them and you decided to humiliate them in a very large setting. And you now want to say it's just the way the media is set out to do things? No, we're not going to accept that, sorry. The media could do better. I'm sure of all the people that attended TikTok Australia, there would have been thousands of Anglo-Saxons and other races and a very few black women or black people or people of color altogether. Very small number. Okay? We're sick and tired of this behavior. You can do better. We know how it works. I would literally go live. I went on live today. I'll tell you what, guys. I went on live for almost an hour with this face on. I was not flagged. Had I gone with my beautiful black skin, I would have been flagged straight away. I don't go on TikTok live anymore in Australia because I get flagged all the time for saying something inappropriate. Even if I don't talk, I just listen to music. But my skin color bothers you. It bothers them so much. TikTok Australia need to do better. You need to do better. We just want a society that accepts all. That's all we're asking for. We're not asking for much. We're asking for equality, equity, inclusion. That's all we're asking for. You know? So anyway, as an Australian today, I think we can do better. I really do. I think we can do better. TikTok Australia, get your shit together, mate. Time's up. Time is up. Time is up. You can do better.
I attended the TikTok Awards as a nominee, and I needed to come out in defense of another nominee who flagged her experience of racism with the photographers on the red carpet. Photographers that weren't from TikTok, but were from various media outlets, and many people in the comments were saying, oh, well, they were just there to photograph big celebs. They were just there for nominees. She was a nominee, number one. And number two, they took my photo and I am a fucking nobody. And granted, I've not seen the photo. I'm sure the photo was deleted shortly after taking it. But like, I had an interview on the red carpet. I walked through. Nobody gave me any trouble because I was nominee. They took my photo and that was that. So why wasn't that her experience? If we ever want to see change, then we need to call out this kind of behavior. And like, it just is such a shame because like for me, the TikTok Awards was such a positive experience, not because of the red carpet or like the actual award itself, but just like all of the creators I met who were so supportive and so wonderful, including Florence. And so I just want to have her back because yeah, she deserves that. And we as creators should all stand together to try and make this a more positive and inclusive community.
We are taught in this industry not to speak up, but not saying something is saying something, so I'm here to say something as a white presenting multi-Australian who attended the TikTok Awards. First and foremost, I just want to apologise to those beautiful black creators who were treated like absolute garbage. That is not okay, period. If you're unaware of what happened, I've tagged the creators in the caption, so please go and give them some love, go and watch their videos to get the full context. You may have seen other creators that attended the awards talk about the experience, like the event itself, like there was no free food, there was no free drinks, but in my opinion, that is such a minuscule issue compared to this. I also just want to add that I don't want to come across as some white savior, but as a white passing Māori who will never have these kinds of experiences, it would be absolutely wrong of me not to bring awareness to this, especially because I attended. One of, if not the most important thing that I speak about on my platform is not judging and treating someone based on the way that they look. So that's why I felt so compelled to make this video. And I know that this probably means I'm never going to attend any future TikTok events, but to be honest, I don't really feel comfortable associating and attending things like that when this is how they treat their people of colour. Moving forward, I hope TikTok Australia listens and learns from this, as no one should be made to feel like that. Mori ore te whānau.
I like what one of the ladies said, that in Australia, if you take note of their media and what goes on, they rarely put up black people as, you know, those that are presenters and whatnot. And yeah, a lot of people have said that they are the R word kind of country. And it's quite pathetic that in 2025, people are still facing this kind of thing. Yeah, the R word. People are still facing it, and it's quite sad that it is happening. And big ups to the lady for coming out to stand up for herself and every black woman and black man. And big ups to the people who said they ain't got no time to attend it, because should I bother attending when you guys, all you're just gonna do is try and belittle the hard work and what the effort that people have put into getting into where they are, because you feel they are not of a certain kind of race, a certain kind of skin color. I mean, I would never understand that. I mean, what is the big deal about being this race and being this skin color and being this skin color? Why? Why? I mean, are they feeling like they are more powerful than blacks? Are they more powerful? Because it just got me wondering. Anyway, you guys, what are your thoughts concerning all of this? Please feel free to put your thoughts in the comment section. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye for now.